Sunday afternoons in Willow Creek Heights had always belonged to Celeste Morrison. They were the slim, luminous slice of the week when deadlines receded, hospital pagers fell silent, and the city of Austin exhaled under the slow-moving Texas sky. Celeste, a 37-year-old trauma surgeon whose life otherwise ran on adrenaline and fluorescent lights, protected those hours like heirloom china. She would slip on battered turquoise sandals, fill her copper canteen with iced rooibos, tuck a sun-creased copy of Zora Neale Hurston's Dust Tracks on a Road beneath her arm, and stroll the quarter-mile from her brownstone townhome to the communal pool. The walk itself was ritual. Past the immaculate beds of bluebonnets, past the politely threatening sign that read quiet hours enforced after 9 p.m., past the patch of grass where the neighborhood kids abandoned their Nerf darts. Every step reminded Celeste that she had earned this calm. 15 years of night shifts, med school loans, and skepticism from colleagues who wondered aloud whether a black woman could possibly handle a level 1 trauma center. She reached the pool at 2:17 p.m., chose her usual chaise near the deeper end for the breeze, and let the loud silence settle over her shoulders. 20 minutes passed exactly as she'd imagined. Pages turned, condensation trickled down the canteen, cicadas sang their lazy August song. Then a black and white Ford Explorer crept into view, inching past the wrought iron gate like a cat testing a puddle. It paused, reversed, and parked in clear line of sight. 2 officers stepped out, both white, both women, both moving with the bored certainty of professionals already convinced they knew how the afternoon would end. Officer Tracy Howland rested a thumb on her utility belt. Corporal Belinda Finn adjusted aviators that mirrored the turquoise of Celeste's sandals. Celeste's shoulders rose a centimeter. She slid a tasseled bookmark between the pages, sat upright, and mustered a smile practiced through thousands of patient consults. "Afternoon, officers," she said, voice steady. "Is there a problem?" "We'll let you know," Howland replied. "Mind telling us what you're doing here?" "I live here," Celeste answered, lifting her homeowners association keycard and driver's license from her tote. "Just enjoying the sun." Finn took the identification as though accepting evidence of a minor crime. "Got a call about an unfamiliar individual loitering," she said, pronouncing the last word with crisp finality. "Any guests with you, ma'am?" "Just me, Corporal." From the third-floor balcony of Building 5, a figure leaned on his elbows. Ethan Whitaker, white, 42, amateur documentarian, widowed father of 2, had been watering succulents when the cruiser rolled up. Now his phone hovered between fingers, camera already rolling. Ethan knew of Celeste in the cordial way poolside neighbors know each other. Trading weather comments, debating Austin's best brisket, occasionally swapping plant clippings. He disliked the posture of the officers, the subtle forward lean, the squared shoulders, so he filmed, angling his phone just enough to capture faces. "Suspicious how?" Celeste asked. Howland ignored the question, handing license and keycard back with deliberate slowness. "Which unit?" "3A, Celeste replied. "Bought in February." Finn raised a brow. "3A? That's a pricey corner." The implication fluttered in the humid air. Pricey corners weren't for women like her. Celeste tucked her cards away and kept both hands visible on her lap. "Officers, if there's nothing further, would you mind escorting us to your unit?" Howland cut in, more suggestion than question. Celeste's pulse ticked faster. She recalled every lecture her father had ever given about compliance and survival. But she also recalled law school friends who'd taught her that rights evaporate when never exercised. "I do mind," she answered, keeping her tone silk smooth. "I've provided valid ID and access credentials. Unless I'm under suspicion of a crime, I'd prefer to stay right here." The air thickened. Finn clicked her pen and wrote something in a flip pad. Ethan zoomed in. His thumb trembled, but he steadied it against the railing. "No need to get defensive," Howland said. "I'm not defensive," Celeste replied. "I'm simply protecting my time and my home." A shrill whistle shattered the moment. At the shallow end, a lifeguard, red-headed teen, earbuds dangling, signaled 2 kids roughhousing on pool noodles. The normalcy of the scene made the officer's presence feel foreign, like a badly photoshopped layer on reality. "Please don't forget to like and subscribe." Celeste locked eyes with Howland. "Did the caller specify anything dangerous about me? Any threat, disturbance, noise?" "Caller said you looked like you didn't belong," Finn answered. That sentence, casually delivered, hit like a body blow. Celeste inhaled, exhaled, spoke softly. "So existing is suspicious now." Above, Ethan's heart hammered. He contemplated calling down. "Hey, she lives here, I can vouch," but some primitive caution glued his feet. Instead, he He switched the recording to Livestream for automatic cloud backup. Howland stepped closer, shoes crunching chlorine-bleached concrete. Let's not turn this into something it isn't. Then what is it? Celeste asked. For 3 seconds, everyone spoke only with their eyes. A dragonfly skimmed the water. The lifeguard blew another whistle. And then from behind the chain-link gate, a voice boomed. She's a resident. Dr. Morrison, Building 3. Heads whipped around. Mr. Reuben Walsh, retiree, Vietnam vet, white hair fringing a sunburned scalp, stood with mail still clutched in hand. Walsh had once been Celeste's patient after he ruptured an Achilles during pickleball. He'd never forgotten her kindness. I've seen her more times than I can count, Walsh continued. She saved my leg, for Christ's sake. You need to leave that woman alone. The interruption cracked the tension. Howland's jaw flexed. Finn shifted her weight. Celeste said nothing, but gratitude lit her eyes. Sir, please stay behind the gate, Finn ordered. I'm a taxpayer, Walsh retorted. I'll stand where I like. Ethan, emboldened, finally shouted from above. All on video, officers. Howland's shoulders dropped a millimeter. The universal posture of someone recalculating PR optics. She turned to Celeste. Looks like everything checks out. Enjoy your afternoon, doctor. Celeste didn't respond. She opened her book, stared at an unfocused paragraph, while the officers ambled back to their cruiser under half-interested gazes of sunbathers. Yet her sacred Sunday was already broken. Words blurred. Her tea tasted metallic. 15 minutes later, she packed quietly and walked home, sandals slapping concrete in double time. Ethan watched her exit, then thumbed stop on the recording. He replayed the clip once, twice. The footage held no profanity, no violence, just the unmistakable gravity of a black woman negotiating her right to exist. He copied the file to a hard drive and, almost without thinking, forwarded it to his sister Laurel, an investigative podcaster with a following hungry for neighborhood-scale injustices. By dusk, Celeste received 3 texts from ER colleagues. Your pool video is on Nextdoor. Are you okay? She typed I'm fine to each, though fine felt like a cardboard word. Monday brought fallout. An unmarked envelope slid under Celeste's door bore a typed note. Please avoid creating disturbances that require police presence. Some of us bought here for peace. Willow Creek Heights Homeowners Association. The subtext screamed louder than capital letters. Celeste snapped a photo, filed it in a desktop folder labeled Paper Cuts, and left for a 12-hour shift. Trauma Room 4 delivered enough blood and broken glass to postpone her frustration. Meanwhile, Ethan's sister uploaded a teaser of the video to her podcast's Twitter feed with the caption, Black Doctor interrogated for lounging at her own pool in Austin suburb, because she didn't belong. Full story soon. Hashtag sprouted, retweets cascaded. By Tuesday noon, the local NBC affiliate requested an interview. Celeste refused. The camera in her OR already delivered more scrutiny than she cared for. She tried to keep the focus on patients, but staff whispered. A nurse murmured, heard you're famous, offering half a smile, half an apology. That evening, Celeste returned home to find Ethan waiting outside her door, toddler son perched on his hip like a koala. He wore guilt in the slump of his shoulders. I should have asked first, he began. My sister posted the video. It's everywhere. Celeste, hair still tucked in a surgical cap, leaned against the jamb. Everywhere is relative, she said, but a siren of anxiety wailed inside. Ethan swallowed. If you want me to take it down. The genie's out, Celeste said. She looked at the boy, offered a soft wave, then back to Ethan. Did it at least do any good? Ethan scrolled his phone, showed her messages from strangers offering legal assistance, from neighbors confessing shame, from an Austin City Council member demanding accountability. Looks like good to me, he said. She sighed. Good feels heavy. Wednesday morning at 6:14 a.m., 2 uniformed men, Officer Miguel Tapia of Internal Affairs and a civilian equity liaison, appeared at Celeste's stoop. They requested a statement. She scheduled Friday, wanting counsel first. Counsel took form in Adeline Boone, a black civil rights attorney recommended by the hospital board. Boone, sharp-eyed and soft-voiced, arrived with a yellow legal pad and the calm of an experienced storm tamer. Step 1, Boone said, crossing slender ankles in Celeste's living room, is documenting every micro-event. Emails, notes, homeowners association letters. Pattern equals proof. Celeste produced the envelope and the digital folder. Boone nodded, satisfied. Step 2, anticipate backlash. Stereotypes pivot from angry black woman to attention seeker with astonishing speed. I don't want attention, Celeste replied. Too late. Let's turn attention into leverage. That night, Thunderheads rolled over Austin, drenching Willow Creek in cleansing sheets. Celeste stood at her kitchen window and watched lightning stitch the sky, wondering if storms ever felt burdened by the headlines they made. Thursday delivered the twist nobody predicted. Laurel Whitaker's podcast aired a follow-up episode revealing freedom of information requests. The 911 call came from inside the neighborhood, traced to a disposable phone purchased 2 days earlier. The voice on the call, a teenage male, reported a suspicious black female near the resident pool, possibly armed. The word armed detonated across social media. Within hours, another piece surfaced, video from a Ring camera 2 streets over, showing 15-year-old Mason Lang, son of Willow Creek Homeowners Association President Winifred Lang, discarding a burner phone into a recycling bin. The Ring footage timestamped 1 minute after the 911 call. The revelation combusted on Facebook, Nextdoor, and then mainstream outlets. Winifred Lang, a silver-haired retiree known for her bi-weekly tennis socials, issued a statement blaming youthful misjudgment and apologizing if anyone felt unsafe. The phrasing lit bonfires. Friday morning, Celeste sat across from Internal Affairs, Boone at her side. She recounted times officers hovered outside her home without cause, false noise complaints, mailbox tampering. She spoke clinically, as though dictating a chart, but her pulse thrummed. When she finished, Tapia pushed a recorder aside. "Dr. Morrison," he said, "I believe you. And I'm sorry." Simple words, but they cracked something in her chest. She inhaled, nodded, blinked away heat behind her eyes. Outside headquarters, reporters thronged like gulls. Boone blocked their path until a tall man with Channel 5 credentials called, "Dr. Morrison, any comment on the Homeowners Association president's resignation?" Celeste froze. Boone's head snapped. "Resignation?" they echoed. Turned out, overnight pressure had fractured Willow Creek's pristine facade. Sponsors of Lang's tennis league threatened withdrawal. 3 board members resigned in protest. Lang herself stepped down to focus on family matters. Boone exhaled a low whistle. The dominoes are falling. But dominoes sometimes crush toes they weren't aimed at. Saturday, Celeste awoke to find her Honda's windshield smashed, a rock on the hood bearing a note, "Go back where you belong." Police filed a report. Neighbors wrung hands. Ethan offered his garage. Celeste declined but accepted Bruno, Ethan's dog, as guard for the night. A lopsided golden doodle more fluff than ferocity. Sunday dawned with bruised clouds. Willow Creek Homeowners Association called an emergency town hall, this time in the high school auditorium to accommodate cameras. Celeste hadn't planned to attend, Boone insisted. The room buzzed with equal parts outrage and voyeurism. A reporter whispered, "Better popcorn than Netflix," earning a glare from Boone. Acting President Harold Kim, a Korean-American engineer chosen during last night's frantic reshuffle, took the podium. "We failed our neighbor," Kim began, voice wavering but resolute. "We created an environment where suspicion trumped community." Murmurs rippled, some supportive, some scoffing. Kim continued. "Effective immediately, the Homeowners Association is suspending Neighborhood Watch until we complete anti-bias training, revising protocols so anonymous calls dispatch security, not police, and establishing a diversity council led by residents of color." Applause erupted from one side, boos from another. Celeste sat center row, expression unreadable. Kim turned toward her. "Dr. Morrison, would you like to speak?" Celeste stood, heart hammering. She gazed at faces, the lifeguard picking nail polish, Mrs. Lang weeping behind sunglasses, Mr. Walsh standing sentinel at the aisle, Ethan streaming live. Words bubbled unexpected. "I came here for peace," she said. "Instead, I found reminders that my skin turns comfort into threat." She swallowed. "I don't need your pity or your headlines. I need neighbors who ask my name before dialing 911. I need this community to want me here, not tolerate me." Silence held like collective breath. Then a woman rose, pale-skinned, early 20s, visible tattoos, a stranger to Celeste. "My little brother was the one who threw the rock," she confessed, voice trembling. I've dragged him here to apologize." She nudged a scrawny, red-eyed teen forward. Mason Lang stared at the floor. Gasps scattered, cameras pivoted. Mason's lips parted. "I'm sorry," he muttered, tears threatening. Celeste's hands balled, released. Boone's voice whispered at her flank. "Up to you, document." Celeste inhaled. "Thank you for apologizing," she said to Mason. "Until you understand why you felt threatened by me resting, your apology is only a beginning." Mason nodded, wiping eyes. The town hall ended not with catharsis, but with possibility, and that was enough. Weeks passed. Celeste's windshield became a new cautionary tale at the body shop. Insurance covered repairs. Homeowners Association bylaws transformed from dusty PDFs to active workshops. Ethan founded a Coffee with Neighbors series, pairing random residents for 30-minute porch chats. Attendance grew. One crisp October morning, Celeste returned to the pool, the first time since the incident. She chose the same chaise, same canteen, different book, the fire next time. No patrol car arrived. Instead, a toddler wandered too close to the deep end. Celeste sprang up, snatched him gently, and returned him to a panicked father. Life, with its mundane dramas, resumed. Across the water, Ethan filmed a final clip. Celeste laughing with the toddler's dad, once wary neighbor, now grateful friend. He captioned it, "Change is a verb." The clip garnered modest likes, nothing viral, but Celeste preferred it that way. Later she sat on her balcony beside Boone, sipping chili lime margaritas. Boone toasted the sunset. "You know you rewrote the neighborhood charter, right?" Celeste smiled. "I just wanted to read by the pool." "And you will," Boone replied, clinking glasses. "On your terms." Cicadas hummed. Children's laughter drifted from the courtyard. The sky, streaked peach and lavender, looked freshly painted. Celeste exhaled a breath she'd been holding since the officers first stepped onto sun-heated concrete. The breath sounded like belonging. Somewhere, stories of injustice continued. But here, in a gated pocket of Austin, small justice took root. Unfinished, imperfect, but real. And on Sunday afternoons, when Celeste opened her book and stretched her legs toward the sun, nobody wondered if she belonged. They already knew.